This is Dave Pellegrinelli at TitleSearch.com, answering some questions today about doing title searches on commercial properties. Commercial property title searches have a few significant differences from residential properties. The basic search process and logic is the same, but there's a few things that make the records on commercial properties different. The first difference is that commercial property title records are a lot more complex than residential properties. Reading the documents is not optional. You need to read through each document, see what terms and conditions are on the documents. There may be cross-references to other documents more so than on residential properties. The records may be placed on a property from different names. You may have a company name, you may have individual names, you may have different entities with interest in the property, so it goes beyond searching just one owner name. You have to search any entity that has an interest in the property. Currently, there may be fractional interest. The last sale may have had conditions which the old owner may have retained interest in the property. You need to look through that in quite a bit of detail. Second is liens can come from multiple sources. Liens can go against the owner of the property. It can go against tenants with leasehold interests. It may go against individuals who are partners in the property, or even individuals who are principals in the corporation. Whether or not those liens are valid against the property itself is not really up to the abstractor to determine or form an opinion on. The abstractor should, put everything on the search report that could possibly affect the property and leave it up to an attorney or the end user client to determine if those liens affect the property or if they want to know about them. There's also an aspect of commercial properties where there could be separate deeded interests other than just the ownership for things like easements, leaseholds. A lot of properties have out parcels. Some larger commercial properties have separate deeded parcels within the property, kind of like condominium ownership, where a store or a tenant in a property may have a deeded interest in their space or access to their space. Those are all important things to look at. Ownership on commercial properties is usually a lot more complex than a single family residence. You could have syndicated ownership, you can have partnerships, limited partnerships, general partnerships. You need to look at all those to see what the ownership makeup of the property is. If there's any question, you just put what you can visually see from the records and let a legal opinion be placed by an attorney or a qualified legal entity. At the same time, there's a lot more probability of having blanket mortgages and multiple parcel deeds with commercial properties. You may have a mortgage that covers the subject property and other properties at the same time. You may have a deed that conveys the subject property and other properties. When you find that to be the case, it's a good idea to take a look at the title records for those other properties to see if there's any cross-references back. Of course, on commercial properties, you're going to have UCC filings, financing on business fixtures and personal property on some of the tenants, or whether the owner has a business operating in the property itself. This is a very simplified view and a simplified version of commercial property searching. If you're going to do commercial property searching for clients, it's really good to get training and to understand it in more depth. But at least it gives you an idea of what other aspects to commercial properties are going to pop up as you're looking at them.